Welcome back to Making the Case, everyone. Well, if you've been on social media, you know how passionate people are about the R. Kelly case. His name is still trending online after yesterday's guilty verdict in his sex trafficking and racketeering trial. Black Twitter, known for edgy humor, has made his hit Remix to Ignition now a meme called Remix to Conviction, hot and fresh into prison. And his hit song, I Believe I Can Fly, now I Believe I Can Cry. And people are also tweeting about how significant the conviction is and what it represents, especially for Black women and girls. Me Too founder and activist Tarana Burke shared a series of tweets. She says, this was a long time coming, and although it doesn't bring automatic healing, I hope it brings a sense of closure that can help facilitate the healing process. She also tweeted this: the real story here is about the relentless activism of Black women who refuse to let rampant open abuse and violence toward Black girls and young women fall on deaf ears. Black women were ringing the alarm long before the world knew what Me Too was about. Drew Dixon, record producer and Russell Simmons accuser, tweeted, I'm in awe of the coverage of the R. Kelly survivors. I hope they find some degree of peace in this moment. I'm also deeply grateful to Dream Hampton for creating a space where Black survivors could be seen. Surviving R. Kelly changed everything for all of us. Hashtag Me Too. Thank you. Tamara Simmons, executive producer of the Surviving R. Kelly documentary, tweeted, the verdict is proof that substantive entertainment can be impactful. His victims feel this impact. They don't know it, but his future victims feel this impact. The message delivered is that anyone who is a victim can have a similar impact. Hashtag you are heard. And rapper Chuck D from the group Public Enemy, well, he's causing some controversy tonight. This is what he tweeted. Abused in his youth, an addict as an adult. Ike Turner served 18 months in prison. Rick James did similar time. Ike came out a changed, positive human being. How long should R. Kelly spend in prison? And does a USA system give a man a chance for a man to change his world around? Lots of controversy on that one.
Make sure you share this video, and guys, make sure that you subscribe to Hip Hop News Uncensored. This video is just out. It's by way of TMZ, and it's Bill Cosby's rep talking about a conversation that he had with Bill Cosby about R. Kelly's conviction. Wait until you hear this, man. All right, rotate.
Is Bill Cosby personally thought about this R. Kelly situation?
We talked about it today.
We talked about it today,
and the first thing he said, he was like, look, the guy was railroaded. As he said that Gloria Allred did the same thing that she did with him. You parade women out and you stir up the public sentiment to go against him. And that's what they did to R. Kelly. My client conviction was vacated by the Pennsylvania State Supreme Court because they saw the truth. And what we see in America today, you know, with R. Kelly is an assault on Black men. And this is an assault on successful Black men who are doing great things.
So will we see like those R. Kelly fans that are sticking by him, hoping that maybe they look at R. Kelly, or they look at Cosby's case and say maybe R. Kelly can get off. Maybe there'll be something. Well, look, do you see that happening with his case?
I see R. Kelly having a strong case on the piece.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Really appreciate everybody coming to the channel to hear what I got to say. First things first. As what we just now heard, R. Kelly definitely has a strong case for an appeal. And I just wanted to play that quote from Bill Cosby or whatever. His representative said that Bill Cosby said that. And if you ask me, everybody, Bill Cosby was 100% accurate with what he said. I understand, right, that there is many people that believe R. Kelly got what he deserved, so to speak. But let's just talk about the facts here. See, we you know what I think, everybody? We have to come with a different approach. What we need to do is let's just strictly talk about the facts. And at the end of the day, the facts will always prevail. I challenge mainstream media, whether it's BNC, whether it's CBS,
CNN, ABC, whoever, TMZ, I am challenging them to report from a non-biased perspective. They they reported on R. Kelly's situation for the past 2-3 years, and it was nothing but a bias report. It was bias reporting. During pre-trial of this recent New York federal indictment, it was nothing but bias reporting. If you look at during the trial, I thought that during the trial they would have showed some type of integrity as journalists and as as the individuals that we depend on to give us accurate and fair information. But apparently, from what I'm seeing, mainstream media in the United States of America is incapable of doing that. We had a gentleman came out recently, the owner of the Hip Hop Inquirer, that basically revealed that the media, only certain people in the media was receiving the transcripts from the R. Kelly case. And of course, they weren't receiving the defense's case. They weren't receiving the transcripts that the defense, was doing, the cross-examinations that the defense was doing. They was only receiving the prosecution's case. And of course, as everybody can see, when you would get information with this R. Kelly case, all you would see was bias reporting from the prosecution. They didn't point out no cross-examinations that the defense did. And of course, the one thing that I can remember that they did report that the defense said that Attorney Devereaux Canick said was that they tried to spin a narrative once again and made it seem like he was comparing R. Kelly to Martin Luther King Jr. That was clearly, once again, inaccurate. It was not an accurate. It was not accurate reporting. And I think the media, mainstream media, everybody, is the most dangerous tool that people in power use against the African American community, and really against the people, period. It's really not just about the African American community, everybody. It's about everybody, really, the masses, However, when it comes down to the African American community, the way we're portrayed in the media is just, it's really sad that even today in 2021, we are still dealing with certain things. For example, this R. Kelly case. And I challenge, once again, I'm going to go back to this. I'm challenging mainstream media. Once again, CBS, CNN, the same CNN that admitted that they viewed a tape that allegedly had child pornography on it. The same CNN, which is, that, by the way, is a crime. I'm challenging CBS, the same CBS that Gayle King did a interview with R. Kelly, and she did the interview from a biased perspective as well. She interviewed him as a guilty man. Now, what I'm trying to figure out is, put all the thoughts aside, whether you think R. Kelly is innocent or guilty. Let's put that aside for a second. And let's just, once again, let's look at the facts here. When in America does people have the ability to stop you from being able to earn a living because of allegations? And that's exactly what happened to R. Kelly. So as you can see, his constitutional rights and civil rights have been violated this whole time. Now, when we get to this trial here, of course, the mainstream media was not reporting anything that the defense was cross-examining these witnesses. However, if the public, and I'm telling this to mainstream media, if the public, y'all know, if the public was to get a hold of the transcripts and see the whole story of what happened in that courtroom, y'all know that y'all would not be able to pump these narratives that y'all continue to pump throughout mainstream media. And it's really sad, everybody. I'm trying to figure out what, because these channels and stuff like CNN, CBS, BNC, ABC, Fox, we depend on these people to give us truthful news. We depend on them to do that. And if they can't be fair and transparent, all the way transparent with something as simple as an R. Kelly federal racketeering trial, how can we expect them to be transparent and 100% truthful and honest and fair with us when it comes to things that really could affect us or could affect this planet or whatever the case may be? It's really sad, everybody. It's sad, because we're seeing, well, I'm seeing, I should say, for a second, let me just speak on myself. I'm seeing people on social media, and they're bringing these so-called experts and these women in the Me Too movement on these news panels and stuff, and it's just sad how they are pushing this narrative, and they are accepting this decision that this jury came up with. All of a sudden, they came up with a jury. They needed this evidence, right? They wanted to see this evidence. Judge Ann Donnelly sends them home, which I thought that they were supposed to be sequestered. So right then and there's no telling what they encountered when they were sent home. Because if you ask me, for them to come back that next Monday after the weekend and then come up with this verdict of all guilty, there's no way that there's no way that could be the case. If you ask me, this was definitely a situation where R. Kelly was railroaded. I do believe that justice was obstructed by the government, and I do believe that these jurors also committed, some type of obstruction. Because think about it, Attorney Devereaux Canick, when he cross-examined every witness that the prosecution brought forward, every witness told the prosecution different stories, to the point where if the prosecution accepted the first story that they told them, that these so-called witnesses and accusers and victims told them, then there was no need, or they had no leverage, I should say, to even want to bring charges against him. Because like I said, everybody told different stories, to the point where Attorney Canick had to keep reminding them of what they told the federal government initially. Okay, that is reasonable doubt through and through. When you think about all the different stories that these people have told in mainstream media alone before the trial, they couldn't even get it right where they could tell a story that they've told already in mainstream media. They could have studied that enough where they could have came up with something that's believable, but instead they still was caught in lie after lie after lie. Once again, mainstream media is pumping this Aaliyah situation. Well, like I said before, everybody, when Aaliyah was alive, God rest her soul, she never once said R. Kelly did anything wrong to her. Neither has her mother. Okay, she's not here now to defend herself. And even Demetrius Smith, he clearly said in the courtroom, it's in the transcripts, he said that R. Kelly did not know nothing about the bribery. So how could they charge him for the bribing a government official when their witness said that he didn't know nothing about it? This is the, everybody, I get it. Listen, I get it. R. Kelly has had a reputation for a long time now, and the reason why is when in this world, everybody, when a stigma is put on your reputation or on your character, it's hard to get it off of your character. Now, the thing with this is, right, having a stigma or allegations, being accused of things, or gossip or rumors or innuendos, that is not enough to charge somebody and convict somebody of a racketeering case. This is one of the if I do believe, everybody, if mainstream media, right, was to do what they're supposed to do, which is show integrity as journalists and as reporters, and report the whole story and not just the prosecution's case, if they was to do that, right, and if the general public actually understood what they charged R. Kelly for in this New York federal case, I think that they would not have been able to railroad him the way they did. See, the problem is that docuseries that they came out with, it turned a lot of people on against R. Kelly, I should say. They turned a lot of people against him. So if there's no uproar about a decision or about railroading somebody in your own community, like the black community, then why does the prosecution have anything to worry about? Now that's the reason why they sat there and met up with these accusers and these witnesses 30 plus times, or whatever the case was, and constantly coached them to come up with a story and a narrative. And basically what they did was they basically charged this man for racketeering, and they basically used the surviving R. Kelly blueprint. That's basically what they did. The general public, thanks to mainstream media, they believe that there was so much evidence brought to the case when really it was not. For 2 years, while R. Kelly sat in federal custody, not able to get a bond, even though he does not have a criminal record, has never been convicted of anything, they constantly said, motion after motion, that they had all these tapes, that they had all this evidence, and they showed one tape. They showed one tape, and it was nothing criminal on the tape from based on my understanding. And then they played an audio of R. Kelly upset after somebody stole a $20,000 Rolex from him, and this person admitted to doing it. So it's not like I have to say allegedly with that. It's really sad, everybody. It really is, because we're seeing this now has made it where they set the bar so low. The bar is set so low now for black men in America, and especially successful ones, It's already been set low, but this just makes it ridiculous, because basically what they just now found out is they can take away a man's rights, take away a man's freedom, take away everything that he's worked hard for, lock him up in prison for the rest of his life, possibly, without bringing any sufficient evidence. I mean, it's really ridiculous, everybody. But I blame, the music industry. These record execs in the music industry, because all the money that R. Kelly, the brand R. Kelly, has made for these record companies, we're talking about easily $1 billion. They could have supported him against these allegations like they did when he was in his prime. You see, when he was in his prime, he had support from the record companies, But now, obviously, when he's in the back end of his career, and of course he's hollering about his rights to his own music now, next thing you know, this whole R. Kelly smear campaign comes about, and it's really sad that it's really sad that we saw what we saw. You know what I mean? This is a bad day for the black community. If you ask me, well, yesterday was a bad day for the black community. It was a bad day for the black community. And as far as the Me Too movement, it is amazing to me that these women in the Me Too movement are coming on national television saying how this is such a good moment, a monumental moment for black women. So let me get this straight. A public lynching of a black man is a good day for the black woman. Now, if the evidence in the courtroom told a story of R. Kelly was really doing these things, then I would say, you know what, y'all have the right to feel that way. But I know that these women in the court, that's coming on mainstream media, I know they have seen the transcripts. I know that mainstream media has seen the transcripts. So the fact that they are still pushing this narrative when all of these accusers clearly was lying and they were clearly seeking financial gain. This is clear. Okay? They're saying that this is a good day. So they're promoting division between the black man and the black woman. They're promoting division. And what they're saying to me, everybody, what these women like Tarana Burke and Kenyatta Barnes of the Mute R. Kelly movement, these terrorist groups, because that's what they are to me. I feel like they are feminist terrorist groups, and they are out to take down any black man that is somewhat successful or that is successful. That is just how I am seeing it. And I have no problem, everybody, with empowering women. But I do have a problem with the way the Me Too movement, the Mute R. Kelly movement, Time's Up. I have a problem with how they are going about it. You can empower women without taking down black men. You know, you can empower women and get the equal liberation for women without destroying the black man. Because there's no way that the evidence that I saw and that I heard and what I'm seeing in these transcripts, there is no way that jury could have unanimously came up with the verdict that they did unless there was some foul play there. And we know, everybody, the foul play that the media has contributed to this R. Kelly smear campaign. And we need to hold these people accountable. We need to hold the federal government accountable. Because this right here is a clear sign that the federal government does not have our best interests. They have manufactured a racketeering case on live TV for everyone to see, and the case shouldn't even have been a racketeering case. They literally have convicted Robert Kelly, the singer R. Kelly, for having sex with women. That is what they have done. Saying that his whole career was only to target women and minors for sex. When everyone knows, especially other celebrities, that when you are a celebrity, you're actually the target. He doesn't have to target anybody. All you have to do is look at a concert that he did, and that will tell you the story. But the federal government was told so many different stories from these accusers and these women, but they continued to proceed with this trial and with these charges, and they have got a conviction against R. Kelly because of the mainstream media and surviving R. Kelly, the damage that they have done to this man's reputation in the court of public opinion. That is why they have got this guilty verdict, not because of the evidence. And I challenge everybody to seek out the truth. Look for the transcripts. Get the transcripts yourself. Seek the truth. Check out these women's stories and see how they change every time. That's what I'm challenging the general public to do. And I'm challenging mainstream media to report fairly and stop reporting so biased against R. Kelly and against the black community in general. On that note, anybody that has come to listen to what I have to say, I appreciate it. Thank you. God bless you. R. Kelly will be free. Because like I said, the appeal is coming. And it was so much reasonable doubt in this case. And it was so much grounds for appeal in this case. No matter how the people that don't like R. Kelly or think he's guilty want to ignore those realities. On that note, God bless everybody. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.